Hi, my name is Katrina Kavanagh and I'm the Chief Empathy Officer of Kindness on Purpose. I'm also a social worker and someone who's been doing the work working with children, families and individuals for the past 25 years as a clinical consultant. Kindness on Purpose is a program that's available across a lot of schools, and St Helens Park Public School is one of my recent schools that have come on board and joined the Kindness on Purpose movement. This message is for you because you've all experienced a really significant event. You've had fires in your school in the kindergarten and year one classrooms. So I wanted to create a video, a way of connecting to the community and being of support. And this video is for parents and carers, even teachers, as you help the students at St Helens Park Public School navigate the next few days and weeks as they experience, they start to recover, experience the effects and start to recover from the impact of the fire on them. There are three questions that we need to ask ourselves after we've had an event in the community. First of all, who will be affected? And you might be surprised to hear the answer. How will they be affected? And how can we help as parents and carers and teachers with our students? So this presentation is going to go through those three questions. With the first question, who will be affected? The people who are most likely to be affected, of course, the obvious ones, are the students and the teachers who operate from those classrooms that were affected. So every single kindy class, every single year one class. And of course, that's obvious, right? That they're going to be the ones that are affected. The first thing I felt when I heard about this was, oh my gosh, all their memories, all their artwork that they've created, all their books, all their treasures in each classroom that have been so dear to them for the year. And we nearly, we are at the end of term three. So, it's a lot's been accumulated. So I immediately felt very sad about that, the loss of those things. So it's really obvious that those kids will be. The other thing, though, and less obvious, it would be every other child in the school, because what happens is, and it is a form of secondary or vicarious trauma, the kids in the other classrooms will be either thinking, gosh, this happened to, so-and-so or so-and-so who were in those classes, and we know those kids, but they'll be saying this happened to our school. And the other thing they'll be saying is that could have been my classroom. Now, when that comes up, kids often have a thing that with adult terms, we call it survivor guilt. So they can feel almost a bit guilty that their classroom wasn't affected, that their things are okay. So they're things to definitely keep an eye out for. And then even siblings in families. So say you have older siblings that have gone on to high school, they too can be definitely affected by this, because it was maybe once their school, they will feel an affinity. They'll know what it feels like to be in those classrooms, to be in the grounds. And so also, and they might be witnessing, their own younger siblings being affected by this, as well as seeing their parents. So it's broader than we think. And then of course, as parents, particularly the parents of the kids whose classroom it was, but even the other parents and carers as well, you're going to be affected by this, because you will see it affecting your own child. Okay, so the reach is quite broad. It's a community event. A school is a place, is a community within a community. So the broader community will be affected by this as well. Okay, no one likes the idea of our children being affected by fire. Okay. The other people, of course, that will be affected will be the teachers, will be the principals, will be every single staff member, office staff, cleaners, everyone who works at that school will be absolutely affected by this fire, which leads us on very importantly to the next question. And that next question is, how will they be affected? So let's talk about that. How will everyone be affected? But I'll be focusing mostly on the children, but anything I say about the students and the children definitely applies to even the adults in this situation, okay? The first thing that we know about children and adults when they've had a traumatic event, and this fire is a traumatic event, is we know that kids don't express their distress, usually in an upfront way. You might have some kids that will be noticeably upset, and they're kind of the easier ones to deal with because they're crying and they're upset, and they might be talking about it a lot. And so they're the kids that are really obvious. And for those kids, the next steps that I'm going to talk about in question 3, the third area, which is how do we help them, will be addressed. Less obvious are the kids, and this is a lot of kids because there are not, particularly the younger ones, that are going to be able to say, look, mum, dad, care, I just want to sit you down. I want to let you know that I'm experiencing a whole wave of different emotions in my body, and I just feel a bit overwhelmed and I don't know what to do with them. So I'm coming to you as a source of comfort and support. Kids don't say that, do they? They don't. No, of course. What they do is they let us know that they're not okay, or they're in a state of distress, or they're affected by it throughout their bodies and their behaviour. So from a body perspective, you might notice your children starting to talk about having headaches and tummy aches. They may even go so far as to say they're feeling nervous or worried, but often not. They might just be seemingly okay, running around playing and whatever. But they are, they will talk, and it may not be immediately, it might be 48 or 72 hours later. It might be a week or two later when the crisis has passed. You'll see them come to you and start talking. And these are kids who don't normally talk about it, about their sore tummy or their headache or, maybe an ache or pain here and there. So, and these are kids who, when they say that to you, they are legitimately feeling that pain in their body. And of course, please go to the doctor and always make sure there's no medical reason for that. But if you've done that and there is no medical reason, we can probably put a hypothesis there that they are feeling distress, and in fact, they're feeling it in their body. And another time I'll tell you why, but just know that it's absolutely real, and it's one way of them letting you know that they're not okay. Another way we see kids let us know is when they let us know in their behaviour. They might be more reactive. They may be, kids that are normally very easygoing kids might start having reactions over seeming little things. Like you might ask them to help with the chore and they might have a bigger reaction when normally they just get on with it. They might have more conflict with their siblings. You might find that they talk more about, or they react in a bigger way when they hear a no from you. You also might find that some kids go quieter, much, much quieter. And so if that happens, it's just any behaviour that's out of the ordinary, basically. Anything where you think, gosh, that's a bigger reaction than they normally give me. So kids, again, won't come up and say, I'm really sad about this necessarily, but, they'll drop a pencil or they'll spill a cup of water and they'll have this explosion. And remember, it can come days later. Everyone in the community at St Helens Park Public School is still in a state of shock, and they're going to be that way for the first 24 hours, 48 hours, and definitely even up to 72 hours. After 72 hours, you will feel, you'll start to get more symptoms coming through, okay? You'll start to get more of the worrying thoughts and all of that kind of thing, okay? So, or you'll start to get those physical symptoms or those behaviours through. So just know right now everyone's kind of in a bit of shock, but these are the behaviours to expect. Now, if your child is doing those things, then I'm going to talk to you next about what to do about it. We'll talk about how to look after feelings. The other thing I just wanted to mention is that this is the time where irrational thoughts and worries will really come to the fore. You will start to, your child, may start to, in their imagination, go to all kinds of places. And it will always centre around how safe am I? How safe am I at school? Then it may even transfer to the home. If my classroom can burn down, my house can burn down. That can easily happen. It's not that a bigger stretch for us to worry about that. But you might be, as a parent or carer, very surprised that why would you even be thinking that we're safe here? But it's a natural thought to be having. So just know that those thoughts might come up. They might start all of a sudden coming to you and saying, that they're worried about grandma or an auntie or someone who lives far away. And they might not say, oh, I'm worried about a fire, but they might start talking about worries in other areas. So just notice for any more conversation about worries. And they can be rational and they can be seemingly irrational to us. And our greatest challenge is to not say, don't be silly, that won't happen. And that leads us nicely on to the next segment of information I want to bring you, and that is how do we look after the heavy feelings of our students so that they can experience this very traumatic event, look after their feelings, and what we all want, which is come out the other side feeling okay again. The next thing I'd really like to talk to you about is how we actually look after the feelings. So this fits in with the third question here that we're looking at. How can we help? So we've covered who will be affected, we've covered how will they be affected, and now we're up to how can we help as parents and carers, as teachers, as people in the community, grandparents, for example, okay? How can we help? And the very first thing I'd like to talk about is let's tell the truth. I mean, of course, I know you wouldn't be, but by that, what I mean is we always want to sometimes protect our children and withhold information. It's a natural instinct. I still feel it myself as a parent. But what we need to do is actually tell them the truth. Yes, there's been a fire. Yes, these classrooms have been affected. These are the things. Yes, your artwork is gone now. And it's okay to have heavy feelings about that. It's okay. We're going to have heavy feelings about that. So it's saying, yes, this is what happened. They will have all kinds of questions. Did the fire brigade come? What time did they come? What did they do? Where are we going to go? You know, and learn. All of those questions are going to be coming through. If you don't know the answer to those questions, then it's best to say, look, I just don't know the answer to that question, but we will do what we can to find out. Now, I know that seems like an obvious point, to tell the truth and to be transparent and tell kids, but sometimes we can want to protect them. The second thing that's really important when we're working out how we can help is to know that to reassure ourselves and our students and our families that there's no such thing as having a silly thought or a silly feeling at this time. All feelings are okay and all feelings are understandable, okay? So as a parent, we can often try to smooth things over as a parent and carer. And so what we do is we say, oh, well, don't worry about that. It's going to be okay. You know, gosh, I do this for a living and I do it all the time. So what we need to be saying is, yes, it's okay to be worrying about this. Something significant's happened. It's understandable, every single feeling. No right or wrong way here. And we are going to help you find your way through it. And we're going to feel okay again. Saying to your kids, look, we're just having heavy feelings. It's normal to have them. They're okay at this time. We're going to look after them. We're going to look after you, and we're going to be safe, and we're going to be okay again. Really important message. If you take nothing from this video, please take that. Say to your kids, your feelings are okay, completely understandable. We can look after them. We can look after you. And you will feel okay again. Things will get back to normal again, but we need to look after you first. So that's a really, really key message. So, okay, so that's another thing. The third and final point, and probably one of the most important points here, to help you to know what to do to help your children look after their feelings, really has a two-part answer. And that is, first of all, you can do all the talking. So driving in the car is a great time, capturing those moments, walking along, bedtime's a great time for reflection. So it's where you can do the talking. You can say, I know that you're going to have heavy feelings. And they can be like, no, I'm okay, Mum, I'm okay, Dad, yeah, well, I'm just going to say it out loud. I know most people have heavy feelings at this time about what's happened. It's very scary and very sad when there's a fire. And so it's normal for you to have those feelings. It's okay. We're going to look after them and you will feel okay again, right? So to have those reassuring conversations, to be saying things like, this is the time when most people think all of these really, really worrying thoughts. This is the time when we've got lots of questions, and that's okay. Just lots of that dialogue, driving in the car. I've heard that when fires happen, that it's usually a lot of kids have a lot of questions and they worry about a lot of things. They start worrying about other people, being safe. And that's apparently very normal. So we'll just have to see whether that's happening for us. So you might think, gosh, that's planting a seed and I'll make my child worry. Your child has got the worries anyway. And what you're doing then is you're actually giving them permission to have them, and therefore to talk about them and tell you about them. So you do a lot of talking. Now, please know it does not matter if your child's rolling around and appearing to not listen. They're taking everything in, okay? The other thing then is, what do we actually do with the heavy feelings? We need to help our kids. So we know from a neuroscience point of view that kids feel their feelings in their head, in their chest, in their tummy, their back, and their throat. And that's actually tracking the vagal nerve. So we know that. So what we do is we work with those parts of the body. So I'm talking about heat packs and cool packs, just to start off with, also a cold washer. The back of the neck is a really powerful place. If you can put a cool pack, or if your child doesn't like the cold, a heat pack on the back of the neck, you're giving your child's body, the vagal nerve, a direct hit. Now, yourself, when we're feeling heavy and upset, we can get a lump in the throat. We can feel quite hot and heavy. That's your body physically feeling the feelings. So we're working physically with the body. Cool packs, even a cold washer or a heat pack on the back of the neck is going to help your child settle in ways that you have not yet experienced. It sounds funny, but it's from a neuroscience point of view. I'm giving you the latest of how the latest way we need to help our kids with their feelings. If your child is someone who feels their feelings more in their chest, or they get that upset tummy feeling, again, a heat pack or a cool pack is very, very good for the chest and tummy area. And I'm talking about getting them to use it daily for the next week at least. Maybe even if it's a heat pack, getting them into a routine of when they go to bed with a heat pack. And we say, we're doing this to look after your feelings. When you've had, and I use this with my first responders that come and see me, that I treat in my practice for PTSD. So I've got, grown adults using heat packs and cool packs all the time. And so, it's a very useful strategy. For kids who like the cool pack, just make it a routine. Come home, have playtime, free time. Before you jump in and do your homework, let's sit down and put a cool pack on. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, as long as they can stand it, okay? But the issue is consistency. So every day for the next 7 days would be awesome. If you can't get every day, please be kind to yourself. That's fine. So you can see that these are the heat packs and the cool packs working with the body. We're not asking them at this point to talk about their feelings. We're going to look after their feelings in their body first, and then then we can ask them to talk about their feelings if they want to. And finally, the final thing I'd like to say is, if your child can't articulate what they're feeling, can't articulate what they're worried about, please don't worry. The most important thing is we teach them how to look after their feelings with their body. They really need that now. So cool packs and heat packs on the neck, chest and tummy. This is a first and a good place to start, and something I'd like to offer you all at St Helens Park as a way to help your children through the experience of this fire. Thank you very much. If you want more information about Kindness on Purpose, it's www.kindnessonpurpose.com. There's no AU, okay? And I'm so pleased that St Helens Park, pre-COVID, began as a Kindness on Purpose school, and finally we had time to start to implement and really enjoy. I know you launched, but we're going to be doing even more now as a Kindness on Purpose school. I hope this has helped you. Take care. My heart and my thoughts are with you as you now move into the recovery phase after the fire. Take care. Bye-bye.